All right, everyone, thanks as always. Go ahead and get started.
Good night.
Rafi, are we good? Good? Great. Doug, why don't you go ahead and start us off? Reminder, locker room's gonna be open soon, so.
Yeah, just a couple of updates, please. Yakamaka's hamstring strain, and what happened with Westberg, and is that going to force y'all to have to look for another backup goalkeeper?
Yeah, well, Yaku, yes, he felt again his hamstring. We'll have to assess him the next few days, do the scans, and then we'll see the magnitude of that. We had in our plans already modifying around 60th minute, and it happened before that. So yeah, we'll have to assess that one. And then Quentin, I think he landed awkwardly in the warm-up or something like that, and then throughout the first half, he started to feel more pressure in the knee. So we'll have to the same evaluate the injury, the magnitude, and then we'll make decisions if needed.
Just can you go through your emotions in those final 11 minutes of this game?
Well, frustration because I felt that we didn't have our best game. Probably we have one of the worst I've seen, especially on the ball. We never had rhythm on the ball. We never could really connect good sequences of passes, possession. There were moments in the first half, but certainly we lost the control for the big majority of the game. So I was frustrated with that, and then out of precaution, I had to modify, obviously, Yaku and then Thiago. So I felt that didn't help with that rhythm. But after that, very happy with the mentality of the team, because it's like the players understood that we were not having our best night, and they were able to absorb pressure and to be under pressure by Chicago, who did a great job at putting good balls, services inside the box and in dangerous areas, and we were just defending very well. Aside of the goal, where I think it was an individual mistake that can happen to anyone, and it was a silly mistake that obviously hurt us, but the team understood, and after that never quit, and that's a massive positive to me, that we have a team full of warriors, people that understands the roles and is willing to do everything for the team. So that's a positive. We need to correct the soccer side for sure, but today that's all I can say.
Gonzalo, we saw Clément Diop get his debut today for the team, and he made some impressive saves, kept Atlanta in it. What were your thoughts on how he played today?
Obviously very positive. It's not easy for a goalkeeper to come in that moment of the game with that amount of pressure and do what he did. He did a great job, so very happy with his performance, and he's, as always, we message the players, it's about everyone, because everyone can impact the game in any moment. They have to be ready for the opportunity. Clement is one that trains very hard every day, and today he had his reward.
And could you just really quickly explain how was Chicago able to, put the team against the ropes for a bit, cause a lot of trouble for the team in the game today?
Well, I have to say both sides of the story, right? One where Chicago did a good job at being compact, understand kind of the timings of the pressure, and I don't want to take any credit from Chicago, because I told them they were the better team today on the field. They were better than us. But once I said that, I think they were better because we made mistakes that we normally don't do. It's almost like we start to give balls away very easily, and that helped them to be in control in certain moments of the game. So not taking away credit for Chicago again, they did a great job. They had a very good game plan, and they were able to put us under pressure. But I felt that it was more us making a lot of mistakes in the build-up and the distribution, and we were not sharp on the ball. So we need to correct that. I felt that the game plan, when we start to move them around and we start to occupy the spaces that we talk about, we were dangerous in attack, but we didn't do that very often.
Jared, reminder, locker room's now open.
Coach, what does it mean that this team hasn't lost at home this season? Is that, I know it's early, but that's just pretty strong play at home.
Well, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
Sorry.
Don't worry. I don't believe in that, but yeah, happy for that. I think it is also a tendency in the league, right? It's really hard in this league to win away. It's really, really hard. You look at the stats, and more often than not, the home team has an advantage on that. So happy that we are with that. We have that tendency as well. We only dropped 2 points so far against Toronto. And even that one, I felt that we should have won that one. I felt that we were the better team in that day. Today we weren't, and we won. So it goes both ways, but I feel like it relies a lot in the mentality of the team. We message a lot of come back to the thought process within the league that when they come to Mercedes-Benz, they have to be prepared for a battle. They have to be prepared for a stadium where the fans are very loud, where they bring energy to the field, and where the players bring the energy back to the fans. And there is that connection that I always talk about. That has to be the Mercedes-Benz this year. So happy that we are doing that. That's all I can say.
It seems like the team is doing a lot better with set pieces this year, even into last year. Is it just a thing of everybody staying locked in and doing the little things of not just clearing free kicks and corners, but dealing with the second ball, closing out pressure, and keeping that recycled set piece from coming in?
Yes, I would say it's always many factors. I agree with you, but it's the value of having someone like Matt Robinson. He's very dominant. Last year we had obviously Purata, who's also very good, but now we have two very good pieces for those moments of the games in the set pieces, corners, wide free kicks, direct free kicks. For some period of time, obviously having Gusa, who's very good at challenging the ball in the air. He's one that plays very aggressively. But overall, the theme of the squad in those moments is life or death inside the box. And you see exactly what you say. Yes, it's normal for us that Miles and Purata win the first header, but then the second balls and the positioning of the far post, and be aware of those 50-50 balls that are inside, and it's that life or death mentality that we message the players all the time. I think is great to them. A lot of organization from my coaches, Diego, Eugenio, they are in charge of the set pieces. They do a good job at organizing them, but then the application is the players. And again, I'm a big fan of the mentality. When you have that mentality, life or death inside the box is way easier.
Jerry, you know what Spanish?
This is the second game in a row we've seen Machochol come into the game and drop into that spot that Almada had. What have you seen from him in the last few weeks since he came back from national team duty? Where, from my perspective, it seems like he's thinking faster and moving faster. What has he shown you in training that you've been able to put him in those situations?
Yes, I would say that Macho, since I'm here, he's been showing that in training sessions. Last year he had a terrible year in terms of injuries, so that doesn't help with having rhythm. And without rhythm, it's really hard for me to put a player on the field. So that's why last year he didn't impact that much. I feel that this year he's been way more healthy. He's been having rhythm. He's been training for longer at a high intensity. And then he shows that pieces of quality in between the lines. He's very tall, but you can see how quick feet, how good feet he has in those tight areas. And then he has a lot of physicality, which is something that I like in that part of the field. When they brought especially Jimenez, Navarro, they are very dynamic, very good on the ball. I felt that I needed another piece there. I mean, I had to modify Thiago at that moment, but then is the decision making. Who's the best suit for that? Is Ibarra, is Amar, is Matchup? And I decided for Matchup a little bit for that intensity that he can apply in that part of the field. So yeah, I think he did good, and I hope he continues with that trend.
Talk Spanish. Locker room's open. Miguel, go ahead in the back there, Jerry.
Coach, por acá,
Sí,
escondido. Sé que a ti no te gusta hablar mucho del arbitraje. Hoy te vi un poco molesto en varias partes del partido por algunas infracciones que el referee central no pitó. La verdad que creo que no podemos caer en cómo se pita en otras partes. Creo que aquí en los Estados Unidos lo podemos hacer mejor. Ese es mi comentario para mí. Pero para ti, mi pregunta es, ¿por qué se cometieron tantos errores muchas imprecisiones. ¿Me podrías explicar qué fue lo que pasó en varias partes del tramo del partido? Sobre todo en el gol del empate, ¿no?
Sí, bueno, comentar un poco lo del arbitraje, es verdad que capaz que no son acciones que son tan importantes o relevantes las que me molestan, pero es cuando no es igual para los dos lados. Después, platicando con Víctor, porque creo que fueron muy abiertos, tanto él como Drew el día de hoy, pude expresar muchas de mis frustraciones capaz que de una manera más calmada y ellos pudieron responderme de mejor manera y resolvieron mis dudas, capaz que igual sigo sin estar de acuerdo, pero entiendo el razonamiento que tienen. Me molestó mucho que en el primer tiempo un jalón de playera de Giacomakis en una parte intrascendente resulte una tarjeta amarilla, pero en el segundo tiempo en un contragolpe de Derrick que le impide a Derrick generar un 2 contra 1 en esa situación que nos ha dado mucha más ventaja y no se sancione con amarilla. Parece ser que es el reglamento que cuando dejas correr la jugada ya no hay amarilla, lo cual yo estaba acostumbrado a otra situación. Pero ese tipo de situaciones es las que me molesta, cuando son muy específicos con dónde salió la pelota para nosotros, pero el rival sí puede tomar 10, 15 yardas más en los saques de banda o en las faltas. Un fuera de lugar de Giacomakis, él toca el balón, no sé si afuerita del área o adentro del área, y se reanuda casi 20 yardas por delante del área grande. Esas situaciones, pero después 5 metros, son muy detallistas con Brooks Lennon por un saque de banda. Esas son las situaciones que a mí me incomodan, que capaz que no son tan importantes, pero para mí sí marcan cierta tendencia y marcan ciertas ventajas para el rival. Después, en cuestión del por qué cometemos tantas equivocaciones el día de hoy, la verdad es que no lo veía venir. Durante la semana se había entrenado muy bien. Hace 2 días hicimos un trabajo táctico de pases de muy alta calidad y no esperaba esta baja. Capaz que hay que darle crédito a Chicago, porque una vez más fue un equipo muy organizado, que por momentos nos ponía en situaciones complicadas, pero también creo que fue más de nosotros, de no entender que cuando estábamos desarrollando el plan de juego lo estábamos haciendo muy bien. El gol fue casi que una copia de lo que les presenté en el plan de juego. La pelota a la espalda, con Brooks, esos patrones de juego contra movimientos que tenemos, y después la llegada de Giacomakis con otro hombre al segundo poste. Creo que esas cosas tenemos que ver, que tenemos que repetir esas situaciones más veces para tener más éxito, pero de repente como que queremos ponernos creativos en zonas donde no. Tenemos que seguir con la estructura que tenemos y dejarle un poco la creatividad a los creativos, que es Thiago, que es Luis, que son los que por ahí son los diferentes y que ellos sí se pueden salir un poquito del esquema, ¿no?
Buenas noches, Gonzalo. Se evitó una derrota ya en el último minuto, en el último segundo. ¿No crees que los cambios que hiciste en el segundo tiempo le perjudicaron al equipo? Bueno, cuando dije derrota, un empate, ¿no?
Sí. Bueno, yo creo que no se evitó una derrota, se ganó el partido. Se ganó el partido, ¿no? Al final. Los cambios, tomo responsabilidad por ello. Hay cambios que ya estaban predeterminados por las cargas que vamos a tener. Vamos a tener 14 partidos en 7 semanas, lo cual marca una tendencia de cada 3, 4 días estar jugando. Y yo tengo que tener cuidado con la carga que les pongo a mis jugadores. Ustedes vieron que tuve en la banca un jugador que viene de selección nacional como es Caleb Wiley y lo puse en la banca porque tengo que pensar en esas cosas sin perjudicar el ritmo del equipo, pero tengo la ventaja de tener a muchos jugadores que están en buen momento en diferentes posiciones. Hoy tenía sí o sí que modificar a Thiago porque venía de 2 semanas sin entrenar al 100%, una completamente fuera. Pero son cosas que a veces ustedes, yo no les puedo comunicar en el día a día, que pasan de si ha entrenado bien, si ha estado con dolor, y yo tengo que tener cuidado de no perder a un jugador como Thiago por más tiempo. Perdimos a Giacomakis o probablemente lo perdamos por algún tiempo. Tengo que tener cuidado con esas situaciones y por eso de repente las rotaciones que hice en los cambios. Y después, por supuesto, reflexionaré en capaz que otras opciones y tal, pero sí hubo cambios que ya estaban de alguna manera predeterminados.
Profe, buenas noches. Para la mejor Atlanta. Cuando vimos a Giorgio Giacomakis hoy salió bastante golpeado, en el partido pasado también, y esa salida fue bastante preocupante. ¿Cuál es el estado de salud de Giorgios y si va a estar presente en los próximos partidos, el partido en Memphis, el partido en Nashville, sabiendo pues que es uno de los jugadores a quien más están buscando y es como que lo están haciendo un target para golpear, para pegar, para que no pueda llegar a marcar gol.
Sí, sí. Y casualmente pocos faules se marcan contra Giacomakis y todos vemos la fuerza con la que se le marca. El día de hoy sale no por un golpe, sale porque sintió una vez más en su hamstring, siente una molestia en el isquio y vamos a evaluarlo y vamos a determinar la magnitud de la lesión y cuánto tiempo le va a tomar la recuperación. Casi te puedo adelantar que para Memphis no estará, pero una vez más tomaremos los estudios y veremos qué es lo que procede con eso. Yeah. Gracias.
All right, guys, head coach Gonzalo Pineda, we'll take a few minutes out. Just go ahead and raise your hand if you want to ask a question. We'll open it up from there if anyone wants to ask first.
Yes.
Similar question to what you just asked. What's the status of Giacomakis?
Yes, well, he felt again his hamstring. As you noticed, the last game against Toronto, he did the same. That in that moment, he was just aware. So the injury did